بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. أما بعد, my brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right in the beginning of His kalam in Surah Al-Baqarah, after the huruf al-muqatta'at, alif lam mim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the Quran. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. This is the book in which there is no doubt. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said a very interesting, a very important thing. He said, هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. This kitab is hidayah, is guidance. This book is a guidance for people of taqwa. هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. And you might say, if Allah had said, هُدًى لِلْمُشْرِكِينَ, هُدًى لِلْكَافِرِينَ, هُدًى لِلْمُنَافِقِينَ, these are the people who need hidayah. They are not even, some are not in Islam, some are in Islam, they're making shirk, and so on, so on. These are the people who are misguided. They are the people who need hidayah. But Allah is not saying that. Allah is saying, هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. It is a book of guidance for people who have taqwa. You might say, well, I already have taqwa, what guidance do I need? But obviously, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, it means that there is a need. So what is this need? And what is this guidance? And why is taqwa being made a shart, a condition of being guided? هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. So it is not guidance for those who have no taqwa. Now if you look at in another place in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, the Arab, the Baduans, they come to you, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they claim to have Iman. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, say to them, you have only entered Islam. لَمْ يَدْخُلِ الْإِيمَانَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ. Iman has not entered their hearts. They have accepted Islam, they are Muslims. But Allah said, Iman has not entered their hearts. And He put a condition, He said, for Iman to enter their hearts, let them obey Allah and His Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, and establish Salah and give Zakat. These are the signs that you have Iman. Obey Allah and obey His Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, and establish Salah and give Zakat. Now Allah did not say obey Allah only in things that you like. Obey the Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam only in things that you like. No, obey Allah. How much? Completely. So taqwa is a condition of hidayah. If you want hidayah, you have to have taqwa. And taqwa is that condition of the heart which I have mentioned before, where you fear to displease the one you love the most. And that is Allah. You fear to displease Allah. In what? In everything. You fear to displease Allah in the way you think. You fear to displease, because Allah knows thoughts. You fear to displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the way you speak. You fear to displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in how you earn your living, in what you eat and don't eat, drink and don't drink. You fear to displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your actions, in your behavior, in your mu'amalat, in your ma'ashara, in your makhlaq, in everything. And you will do only that which pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is it's like a gateway, right? For every action, everything. And only when it fulfills that condition, the toll gate will open. Does it please Allah? And if the answer is yes, then the toll gate will open. Now, this is safety for the believer. To have this condition in the heart and mind to say that I will do only that which pleases Allah is safety for the believer. A man came to Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, rahmatullahi alayhi, and he recited one qasida. It's all written in there, the qasida is also there.
إذا ما قال لي ربي أما استحييت تعصيني وتخفي الذنب عن خلقي وبالعصيان تأتيني. If my Rabb asks me, have you no shyness in disobeying me? You conceal your sins from my creation, but with sins you come to me.
And the first share, the first couplet of the Qasida was where the man said, which means, Allah is making khitab, Allah is speaking to the slave. And Allah said that you were ashamed to do certain things before the people. You tried to hide some of your behavior from the people. But you are not ashamed that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was seeing it. And they said Imam Ahmad rahmatullahi wept and wept and wept to the point where his students and his people around him, they thought he will die. Not because Imam Ahmad was doing something haram. He's talking, this is the level of taqwa. Allah is saying that you were ashamed of your actions to the extent that you were hiding it from people. Right? Today pornography is a big fitna, and may Allah protect us. The Muslims are equally involved in it. But imagine you're sitting there watching this pornography, or you have it on your phone and you're watching that. And you know that anyone gets your phone, there's nothing which goes away, everything is there. There's only a way of getting it back, right? And imagine you're watching that and your mother comes and sees you watching it, or your father, or your whoever you respect. Worst of all, your own children. Now, if you have children, imagine you're sitting there watching pornography, and your son or your grandson or your daughter walks in and sees you. What will happen? What will happen? What should happen, even if you have an iota of izzah left in your heart? I mean, if you have gone completely shameless, it's a different thing. Then maybe you would call your son and tell him, come sit here, watch this, watch what's happening, how nice. Who knows? Maybe you do that. But if you have even an iota of izzah left in your heart, what will you do? Yet, you are doing that knowing that Allah is watching. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. May Allah have mercy on us. And that is the couplet. That is what the man, he recited this couplet before Imam Ahmad, rahmatullahi alayhi. Allah is saying to the slave, you did things which you were ashamed to do before the makhluk. And you had no shame that the Khaliq was watching. This is a sign of no taqwa. Because if you have taqwa, then it should have stopped you long before you came to that. So taqwa is gone. Or at least it is very sick. It's in the ICU on a ventilator. So go and rescue it. Taqwa is the condition. Taqwa is the condition of guidance. Let us remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not in need of guiding us. हिदायत देना अल्लाह का एहतियाज नहीं है, अल्लाह को कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है आपको हिदायत दे. हिदायत हमारी ज़रूरत है. It's not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has no need to give you or me hidayah. It is our need, dire need to get hidayah. A need which is superior to every other need. There are only two things in the daruriyat, There are only two things that a human being needs. Only two. The first one is hidayah in this life. Hidayah in this life. And the second one is maghfirah when we die. Guidance in this life and forgiveness when we die. Everything else is optional. Health is optional, wealth is optional, you name it. Your spouses, your children, your friends, everything is optional. You can do without any one of them. May Allah give all of us good health and izzah and wealth and everything else. But my point is that even if you did not have, even if you were sick, even if you are completely sick and you are, in a hospital in a terrible condition, as long as you had iman and as long as you had taqwa, this condition will end. And then what begins? Abhi sunne na? Suratul Insan. You just heard. May Allah bless the Shaykh for his recitation. وَسَقَاهُمْ رَبُّهُمْ شَرَابًا طَهُورًا. शराब के माने आपका शराब नहीं है, मशरूबात, a drink. وَسَقَاهُمْ رَبُّهُمْ شَرَابًا طَهُورًا. After all the bayan of all the things that will happen in Jannah and all the ni'mat of Jannah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the ultimate of it. Their Rabb will give them. Allah Ta'ala is associating His relationship with us as our Rabb. وَسَقَاهُمْ, and Allah will give them to drink. Rabbuhum, not even Rabbul Alameen. Rabbuhum, unka Rabb. Sharaban tahur. This most beautiful drink, most pure drink. Izzah. You go into like this, you go into a big wedding party or whatever party, right? And you are sitting there and there is food, there is good food and so on, and everybody is sitting there. Then suddenly the host spots you. And he himself comes. And he brings the food for you. And he gives it to you. And he serves you, standing there. And the waiter comes, he takes the plate from the waiter. ये फर्क है नहीं है, सब खा रहे, वही खाना खा रहे. He's not giving you some gold, he's the same food. But this food, he is himself giving it to you. This is what Allah is saying. Allah is saying, obey me in this life, this is what you will get in Jannah. وَسَقَاهُمْ رَبُّهُمْ شَرَابًا طَهُورًا. Allahumma ja'alna ma'ahum. Allah Ta'ala हमको नसीब फरमाए सबको इंशाअल्लाह. That is why something which somebody told me, he said, do not commit for the sake of temporary, momentary pleasure, do not commit a sin. Because the pleasure will go, the sin will remain. And the sin will go with you into your qabr. And the sin will be with you on the day of judgment. And that sin will take you to Jahannam. For the sake of momentary pleasure. Whatever the pleasure might be, for the sake of momentary pleasure. थोड़ी सी राहत के लिए, थोड़े से मज़े के लिए गुनाह मत कीजिए, क्योंकि मज़ा ख़त्म हो जाएगा, गुनाह बाकी रहेगा. तो आपके साथ कब्र में जाएगा, आपके साथ हशर के मैदान में रहेगा और आपको जहन्नम में पहुंचा देगा. And he said, similarly, for the fear of temporary, a little difficulty, do not leave a good thing. Because the difficulty will disappear, the good will remain. And it will go into your qabr with you, and it will be with you on the day of judgment, and it will take you into Jannah. थोड़ी सी मशक्क़त के लिए नेकी मत छोड़िए, ये मशक्क़त ख़त्म हो जाएगी, नेकी साथ रहेगी, आपकी खबर में भी जाएगी, हशर के मैदान में भी आपके साथ खड़ी रहेगी और आपको जन्नत पहुंचा देगी। तहज्जुद में उठना मुश्किल है, अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला हिमसेल्फ सेड ही अशद, अल्लाह से ये मुश्किल है, मगर वो मुश्किल, that little difficulty when you wake up for tahajjud is difficult, but if you accept that difficulty and you pray tahajjud, the difficulty will go. You know, even if once you are awake, you're awake. It's just a matter of trying to get up, which is difficult. Once you get up and you make wudu, you're awake. The difficulty is gone. Even before you start your salah, the difficulty is gone. But that salah, that tahajjud, that dua stays with you. It will go in your qabr. It will be with you on the day of Hashr, and it will take you into Jannah, inshaAllah. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself mentioned specifically, تَتَجَافَى جُنُوبُهُمْ عَنِ الْمَضَاجِعِ يَدْعُونَ رَبَّهُمْ خَوْفًا وَطَمَعًا وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ فَلَا تَعْلَمُ نَفْسٌ مَا أُخْفِيَ لَهُمْ مِنْ قُرَّةِ أَعْيُنٍ جَزَاءً بِمَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, these are the people who wake up and get up from their sides. They get up from their beds and stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bayn al-khawfi wa tam'a, between fear and hope for Allah's forgiveness. That is the condition of the believer. That's the meaning of taqwa. To be bayn al-khawfi wa tam'a, between the fear of Allah's punishment and the hope for His forgiveness. And they spend from what we have given them, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, if they knew what I have kept for them hidden, it would be the coolness of their eyes. Qurrati ayun. It would be the coolness of their eyes. They will be so happy if they knew. And Allah is keeping it secret. Allah said, I will not tell you, I will show you. I will surprise you. Wow, Allah, subhanAllah. Then we'll know that little bit of getting up half an hour before the Salatul Fajr time starts and praying that 2 rakat, ये चीज़ थी। उस वक्त हम सोचे कि काश कि हम सारी रात इबादत करते। ठीक है, नहीं किया 2 रकात तो पढ़ा तो सही ना। छोटी सी मशक्कत, little bit of difficulty, but the ajr of that, the reward of that, forever and ever. Similarly, the sin, no matter what it is. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed us in the Quran, gave us examples of people who were tempted with this and tempted with that. With Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself, they came to him and they said to him, just stop this thing you are doing. This work of da'wah, stop it. And if you are doing this because you are looking for power, we will make you the king. Don't worry. Right? All of us will do bay'ah on your hand. You are the king. If you are doing it for wealth, we will bring wealth and pile it up before you. Give it to you free. Take it. If you are doing it for women, we will bring the most beautiful women of this place, line them up. Take whoever you want, take as many as you want. अभी क्या होना? Whatever you like. And what did he say? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He said, if you bring the sun and put it in one hand, and you bring the moon and put it in my other hand, I will not leave this thing. I will not leave this world. Even if you bring that. Yusuf alayhi salam is tempted by this woman. Obviously, she must have been good looking and beautiful and so on. After all, she was the wife of the governor, of the Aziz. She was tempted by him. What does he say? He says, oh Allah, the prison, the jail is better for me, is preferable to me than accepting what she wants me to do. The Mufassirin and the ulama have said that Yusuf alayhi salam should not have said the jail is preferable. He should have said just save me, Allah would have saved him. He said jail is preferable, so he went to jail. But the point is, that's not the lesson from this. The lesson from this is that he is saying even to go to jail is preferable than doing zina. Why? He was a slave. Think about that. In his situation, he was a slave. So he could have said, she's forcing me. What can I mean? She owns me. I am her property. I am like a horse or something. You know, I belong to her. So he could have, you know, given in, and he would have said, Ya Allah, forgive me, because, you know, what can I do? It's not my fault. I'm Muslim. No. He said, no slave, no nothing. I will not disobey Allah no matter what. I will not look for an excuse to disobey Allah. Even though excuse might be valid in that situation, but I will not look for the excuse. I will say, Ya Allah, if the choice is between going to prison and doing zina, I prefer the prison, I will not do zina. And this is a young man who is not married, nothing. Obviously, his strength, his shahwa, his desire for women, his desire for sex and everything else is at the peak, right? He is not some guy who is already married and what. This man, he does not even know. Even in that state, he is saying, no, I will not do it. I will not do what Allah has made haram no matter what. Even if I have to go to jail, I will go to jail. Why is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us this whole story? And Allah called it Ahsanul Qasas. He said the best of stories. Yeah, the Surah Yusuf begins with this. Ahsanul Qasas. The Quran al-Kareem is a document which is relevant, which is current, which is modern, which is for today. Whether today is 2026 or whether today is 5026, makes no difference. It is relevant for that day. Because the human conditions don't change. Whether you are living today or 1,000 years before or 1,000 years ahead, you still have the same desires and the same, hungers and the same needs. And Allah is giving us examples and showing us this is what you must do. Follow Yusuf alayhi salam's example. Don't follow the example of shaitan. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in His Jalal wa Kamal, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Surah Al-An'am, an ayah which literally, I tell you, when you read this ayah, literally it sort of makes you shake. Allah is talking about those people who know what is wrong, they still do it. I mean, for a Muslim to know that lying is wrong, you need a fatwa from some Shaykhul Haram for this? To know that cheating is haram? To know that zina is haram? To know that drinking alcohol is haram? To know that gambling is haram? To know that dealing with interest is haram? इसके वास्ते क्या आपको मुफ्ती आज़म के फतवा चाहिए? You don't know this? Yet people do. Muslims do. Muslims are involved in gambling. Muslims are involved in interest-based dealing. Muslims are involved in zina. Muslims are involved in alcohol, in drugs, in you name it. So for such people who know, yet they will still do, जिसे आप उर्दू में हठधर्मी कहते हैं, जानते हुए करना है. So there is no escape to say, I'm sorry, I did not know. You know. Knowingly you do it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَلَمَّا نَسُوا مَا ذُكِّرُوا بِهِ فَتَحْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ أَبْوَابَ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ
حتى إذا فرحوا بما أوتوا أخذناهم بغتة فإذا هم مبلسون. इतनी सख्त आयत है. It's such a hard ayah that it must shake us completely so that we come back onto the straight path. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and for those who have been warned and who insist on rebellion, who insist on committing sin, and they have been told, they have been reminded, Ma dhukkiru bih. What happens to them? Allah is telling us, what will I do to them? Allah says, Fatahna alayhim abwaba kulli shay. Ajib. Allah is not saying, I will catch them, I will punish them. No, Allah said, then I will open on them the doors of everything. Imagine. You want to do zina? Okay. He warned you, it's haram, don't do it, don't do it. You still want to do zina? You're still doing zina? Okay. Epstein files. Do zina. Not one woman, 10,000 women. Do zina. It's opened out. Fatahna alayhim abwaba kulli shay. You want money in a haram way, you will get so much money, you would not know what to do with it. You want power in a haram way by oppressing people, you will get power in so much power and so much opportunity to oppress, you can't believe it. Right? You want to take money on interest, Allah will open the doors. Bankers will come and line up before you. Please take from me, please take from me. Whatever filth you want to do, whatever disobedience of Allah you want to do, Allah will open the door for that. Do more. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, imagine, see this ayat of the Quran, subhanAllah, may Allah have mercy on us and protect us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Hatta idha farihu bima utu. Until the time when they are reveling in what we have given them. Absolutely, in everything, in zina, in whatever you're doing, when you are absolutely reveling, you are at the peak of this enjoyment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Akhadnahum. Akhadna means to grab. Harsh, rush. Akhadnahum. Baghtatan, immediately. फट करके मार दिया. فَإِذَا هُمْ مُبْلِسُونَ, and then they will be broken in spirit. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, these are people who we will catch them at a time when, because of the time, Allah said, then they will not even have time to make istighfar and tawbah. They will be caught in the act. With a range hath. You will be caught in the act. And Rasulullah said, if you die in a state, you will be resurrected in that state. Imagine you're going to be, if somebody is committing zina and Allah takes you in that state, you will be resurrected before the whole world committing zina. ये दिन मजाक नहीं मेरे भाई. If Allah wants and takes that person in that state, he will be resurrected in that state. Fear Allah. Fear Allah. Momentary enjoyment. Momentary enjoyment. And the result of that is not momentary. Allah said, you want to disobey me, I will give you ample opportunity. Do as much as you want. Indulge every fantasy. And after that, I will catch you in the act. And you will be broken in spirit because you will not even get a chance to make tawbah, to make istighfar. We ask Allah to protect us from this. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enable us to be people of taqwa and to stay on the right path and to have some shame before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not to humiliate us before the people in this world and not to humiliate us before the people on the Day of Judgment. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us and to shield us and to keep us on the right path with istiqamah, with steadfastness. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على نبي الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.